I think because a lot of independent podcasters have popped up. If you look at the early days of podcasting, it was really a lot of radio stations taking some of their content and repackaging it for the web, making it downloadable. You look at places like CBC Radio or NPR in the United States, but then you had smaller places like Serial pop up, and all of a sudden Serial pops up and everyone is starting to rediscover the medium because of it. So I start to think a lot of the independent contributors, they're the ones that have kind of started this sort of podcast resurgence. You see a lot of the startups gravitating towards some of the podcasts out there, namely, say, for example, within NPR. I think of a company like, I think it's TransferWise, for example. They latch themselves onto Alec Baldwin's Here's the Thing podcast. So they're not building organic podcasts per se, a lot of those brands, they're just latching themselves onto it. Where I am seeing podcast brands really leveraging podcasting are the media brands. A great example of that would be Empire Magazine. It's a huge film magazine based out of the UK. It's a global brand. They are so great with their weekly podcast that I'm pretty sure there are a lot of millennials going, this is probably a podcasting first company, and the magazine is just something secondary that they're doing. So I see a lot of value in it for media brands that kind of want to branch out. Well, I mentioned Empire Magazine. I think they're doing it very well. Another place that you want to check out is Smodcast. If you're unfamiliar with it, Kevin Smith, writer, director, producer, who brought us Jay and Silent Bob. He actually is the Silent Bob in Jay and Silent Bob. He started that. It used to be called Smodco Internet Radio, but it's become Smodcast. And he has literally built an entire business on podcasting, talk radio, if you will. I think he's doing it the best. He's got a lot of different brands, and it's gotten to the point where he can actually tour. People are bringing him up. He was at the Canadian National Exhibition this summer doing Jay and Silent Bob, one of his podcasts. He's got another one called Fat Man on Batman that's all about kind of pop culture, comics, a lot of things like that goes around touring. If you get a chance, go check it out. Check out his stuff. I think he's doing it better than anyone else right now. I think you're going to see a lot of the big guns gravitate more towards podcasting. When I say big guns, Spotify, they've already said that they want to get into that area. There's a lot circulating around SoundCloud because that's where a lot of those podcasters live. SoundCloud is kind of like, they want it to be the YouTube of audio, so a lot of the creators will put their stuff up there and use that as the host before it RSS's out. I think you're going to see podcasting become more of a streaming medium. When I got into it and the way I still consume it is more of a downloadable medium. When I look at the analytics for the Media People podcast, I want to say maybe about 96 to 97% of the people or the users who are actually listening to my podcast are streaming it versus the 2 to 3% who are downloading it. So I think it's going to become more of a streaming medium.